Hey, what is going on? This is your stimulus check updated information. A lot of things happening in Congress right now. You have President Biden's trying to push for this new stimulus bill, this new giant budget bill. So it looks like he's going to try to get that passed. He has the infrastructure bill, and he's trying to work on getting the debt ceiling raised. Also, some of the states up to $1,100 coming tomorrow for some of the states. There is an unexpected $600 that's coming from the American Rescue Plan that still hasn't gone out yet. That looks like those checks will be going out to certain people this coming weeks, I believe, coming up. And there's also more states. There's more states that are jumping on board of getting more stimulus. Each state received close to $380 billion. Each state got more, some got less. But ultimately, they have to take that money and they give it out to stimulus. So they have till December 31st to give that money out. And if you believe it, there's like 3 million signatures to try to get this $2,000 monthly payments to reach Congress so they can see this. Trying to get these monthly payments going out to everybody, and that's what it looks like maybe possibly could happen in this new budget plan going forward. And then one of the things that's really going to push a lot of new stimulus is going to be the unemployment. There's going to be a lot more unemployment benefits that should be coming out here pretty soon. I know a lot of them ended. That looks like it's going to be coming up here pretty soon. Right now you have Congress. Congress is ultimately the only real organization that can go out there and create these stimulus plans. So you have Mitch McConnell, who is the minority leader. He is trying to play hardball. They have this debt ceiling they have to raise in order to get these new budget plans set aside. Now, every 45 years, this whole debt ceiling things comes about, and they end up the last minute. They have till the 18th, and so the last minute they'll say, you watch, on the 17th they'll come together and say, hey, we raise the debt ceiling. Once they raise the debt ceiling, then they can possibly have that stimulus plan in there, which is going to be the up-and-coming budget plan that Nancy Pelosi is trying to get through to Congress and trying to get that out the door. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I think it's the last second they'll do it and they'll get it done. Will the fourth stimulus check happen in that new budget plan? Usually Nancy Pelosi says we have to pass the bills in order to get these, in order to see what's inside the bill. But I know that in that bill they have the American Families Plan that's going to extend out a lot of the programs to the child tax credit. It's going to extend out a lot of those. Will it be a fourth stimulus check? We don't know yet. We'll have to wait for it to get passed. So up to $1,100, $600 to those that live in California. Those that do have the ability to live in California and you filed your returns, if you've made less than $75,000, there's more checks going out this week. It looks like there's close to, I think there's, another 2 million checks going out this week. Actually 705 checks going out this week. I think it was 2 million a couple weeks ago. 705 payments are going out on Tuesday. So that's good news for those that live in California. This is one state that actually is taking the stimulus and turning around and paying out the citizens in that area. So that's going to be going out this week. 600,000 payments went out to eligible residents at the end of August. So there is close to, I want to say, over 3 million people that received payments so far in the state of California. Again, you got to live there and you got to file returns. I wouldn't suggest moving there. That would be crazy just to get a tax return. But inside of California, if you don't have a social security number, you can still file a return using your ETIN number. I think it's ITIN number, I believe. You can use that number to file your returns in the state of California and pick up that check. Also, $600 going out in the American Rescue Plan. The Treasury is going to be sending out $600 to different groups. It says the U.S. farm workers as well as the country's meatpacking workforce, and a portion of that amount totaling up to $20 million is going to grocery store workers. So if you're in one of those three areas, you're going to possibly be getting a $600 stimulus check, because this could be the fourth stimulus check going out. So this is going to be, rather than the IRS sending these checks out, this is the state's agencies, nonprofit, and tribal governments will be sending these checks out. So look for those. He says, we recognize our farm workers, meat packer workers, and grocery workers overcome unprecedented challenges and took on significant personal risk to ensure Americans could feed and sustain their families throughout the pandemic. Good news for those that are in those three areas. getting a stimulus check going out to those in that state. And this is going to be nationwide, so all states will be in part of this, because this is part of the American Rescue Plan that Biden had signed into law back in March. So every state received a ton of money, so they're going to be getting more checks. Obviously, California is going to be sending out those checks, $600 plus the $500 for dependents. But you have other states. New York right now has $2.1 billion set aside for workers. It's like an excluded workers fund. Those are for, I think it's undocumented workers are going to be getting that. Also up to $5,000 for local artists in New York City. There is other money going out to taxi cab drivers, and I think there's like something like $120 million going out to the homeless to try to help them out in New York City. Tennessee, Georgia, Colorado, Florida, all these states are going to be sending out checks. Michigan also is another one, sending out checks to teachers in that area. So anybody that is a teacher in those states are going to be getting a $1,000 bonus. New Mexico is going to also be sending out $750 checks. It looks like Florida will also be sending out bonuses to frontline workers, EMT, police, firemen. All of them will be receiving a new payment. That's definitely good news. Now, Alaska has their own annual oil checks. These are checks that go out to people that live in that state, and this is based on the profits of oil in that state. Now, they're also they're gonna have another extended amount of time. Alaska could see some extra stimulus. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It says the residents in Alaska may qualify for 13 to 20 weeks of additional payments through the federal state extended benefits program. Each state has a ton of money. I don't know why all the states aren't doing it. I know there's a few states that actually is taking the money and they're going to be using it for other stuff, which is unfortunate. I think they should take it, spend that money into the citizens in that area to help build up those businesses that were forced to be shut down. One of the other things is 2,000 monthly payments. In the House of Representatives right now, there is this Support Act. This is put up by the House, a lot of the progressives in the House of Representatives. This Progressive Support Act is going to try to get $1,200 payments out. And this petition right here is up to it's close to 3 million signatures. All this is just kind of try to put pressure on Congress to try to get more payments out to everybody. But they're asking for $2,000 payments and the $1,000 payments for kids immediately. They're trying to get more claims out to people that need it. I think the Support Act might be personally put into that budget plan. If they can get that put in there, that budget plan will have, it's like $3.5 trillion budget plan that Nancy Pelosi is trying to get through the House of Representatives. If she can get it through, then they might add that Support Act in there, $1,200 payments that'll go out to everybody. But this right here is good news as far as people really putting the pressure on Congress to do that. You know, a lot of people think that Joe Biden has any power to sign these bills. Now, he does have the power to sign the bill, but he has no power to really create these bills. I mean, he can't even send out payments. The Treasury has to send out payments, and so that's really the only organization that can actually send the payments out, but it has to go through Congress first. So once Congress gets things done, then they will be able to get more payments out to everybody. One of the things is actually going to push more stimulus, and this is what happened last couple of rounds of stimulus payments, is the unemployment. As long as if the unemployment claims start to ramp up and start to rise, you will start to see Congress step in and say, well, we need to save these people or get more people to get employed. It says 1 million new applicants for unemployment benefits were filled out in the month of September. This is a lot of pressure on Congress to try to get these bills passed. Now, I'm not saying I want to see people file for unemployment, but I'm saying is if they're going to pass another stimulus plan, they're going to look at these unemployment numbers. As the unemployment numbers start to rise, that's when they're going to say, well, we need to add another stimulus plan, and that's when possibly this new plans come out. Now, the infrastructure bill is an American jobs plan. That's a plan that's trying to get people back to work. They're trying to spend the money into the infrastructure, try to spend on roads and bridges, try to help get people into construction and work in those areas. They're also having this American Families Plan that's going to extend out a lot of the child tax credit. It's going to extend out a lot of the other programs that are inside of these bills. So look for those new bills coming out, $3.5 trillion budget plan. That could be the next stimulus, the fourth stimulus check. So we're going to have to watch and see when they vote on that finally, and once that gets out the door, then they can read it and say, okay, these are the new stimulus plans that are going to be happening. So we're just looking for all these plans to try to get all the Congress to step up and get these bills passed. If they can get some type of recurring payment in there, I think they're going to pass that inside of this new budget plan. So we'll have to see if they can get that done. You any questions? Drop those in the comments below. This is your daily stimulus check updated information for today.